Good morning, everyone. I have to be upfront with you right now. I am actually recording this in a different way due to work schedule at this point. It's not technically morning, though I am wearing my pajamas. That's just what I do after my shifts at work. I recorded some stuff previously. I'm going to splice it together with a little better production, I'm hoping, and now I'm shooting this kind of separately, and I'm doing the same with both things, not both things, but all the segments in between. So please let me know if the change is better. I'm hoping this way I can now actually have better production in between everything. This is not coffee, by the way, it's water. If I had coffee at this time of day, you'd read about it in the news the next day. So today we're going to be doing mac and cheese, specifically baked mac and cheese. As always, you can reach me at Instagram at wakeupsmellthe, all big letters to start every new thing. And if you want to send an email, Gmail me at wakeupsmellthe, and that's all little letters at gmail.com. I wanted to start out with some fun facts as always. So one of the biggest fun facts that I found out about macaroni and cheese is that Thomas Jefferson was kind of the first person to bring it to America. He went over to Paris and had a dish that was pretty much just Parmesan and noodles, and enjoyed it so much that he tried to buy a machine. Like, he did succeed in buying a machine to make the noodles, and he brought it over to the States, but apparently that wasn't enough, so he went on to just import the noodles and the Parmesan and made that dish at one of his functions, just calling it a macaroni pie. Some critics liked it, some did not. It has been kind of a lower budget meal for a very long time, very popular with the lower class in the olden days, because all it consisted of was cheese, butter, and noodle. That's almost all the recipes you'll find back in the day are some form of those three, either sandwiched together or just baked together in one big dish. And then people got a little bit wiser with it and started making bechamel sauces and converting them into Mornay sauces. Bechamel is just a white sauce with cream brought together with the roux, and then the Mornay is adding cheese to said sauce, which we will learn how to do today in this baked macaroni and cheese. And Kraft Macaroni and Cheese owns pretty much, not owns it, but they are the majority of the income or the sellers of macaroni and cheese, packaged macaroni and cheese, and they still sell about 1 million a day, 1 million packages of macaroni and cheese a day. That is insanity. Thank you as always to Ma and Pa. Without you, this would not be possible. To my down south Ma and Pa, thank you for watching and for your criticisms and your help. Same to you. To my up top brother from another mother, I would say. To the missus of the house, who always takes what I ask her to do and takes it like a champ, and always just rolls with all the changes and moves and everything that I try to have for this show, professional cooking show. And today's quote, in lieu of me having to kind of change my scheduling and thought process from week to week, is everybody thinks of changing the world, but no one thinks to change themselves. So let's cook some food. Fun fact I just found out was this holds almost a full beer. We're close to it though. And so if my editing skills are worth a fart, it'll vaporize out of this. The recipe will vaporize out of this, and I'll stay in here really quickly like a young Vanna White showing you it. And then we'll move into dicing a medium onion. And remember with this, let's learn with this, you're going to use a pinch grip. You're going to pinch this part of the blade, You're going to curl your fingers back like that. So you're doing all of the work off of this. This kind of helps it steady. You get control of the whole knife as opposed to holding it all the way back here. You know, you've got very little control as to what's going on. But with this, it's a nice light, almost when they say you're holding a butterfly, not so tight that you're crushing it, but not so loose that you're going to drop it and take off your thumb. But nice light right here, do like that. And then remember, we're not pushing this way when we're cutting an onion. We're going from fat to skinny in a kind of sweeping C like that. And then when we come on top, we're going to start past the onion and come back like that as we come down. Same way as when we dice from skinny to fat. We're just going to go like that in kind of a almost like train motion, you know. Like, I'm not going to make choo-choo sounds as always, like I say. And then we'll move into combining some thyme and some breadcrumbs. Great. Some cheese. Remember to use fresh blocks of cheese, not the already grated packaged stuff, because the fresh blocks will melt so much better in your sauce than a pre-packaged grated one. It comes with kind of like a chemically, almost powdery thing on it, which is good for other uses like tacos and things like that. But when it comes to cheeses, it really doesn't help break down and melt the way that nice, good old-fashioned block cheese does. Great. Now we're gonna work on our pasta. And first off, what we need to do is get some water up and boiling. And we need to add salt to it, a lot of salt. I want it so salty it'll be saltier than me than when I made it to regionals of the spelling bee in 5th grade and I misspelled Jeopardy and everyone there sat around calling me an idiot. And you're gonna want to cook that to al dente, because the rest of the cooking is going to be done when you put it into the casserole dish and put it into the oven. So you don't want to cook it fully and then it'll get mushy. So you need it to be a little bit undercooked so that it'll continue to cook underneath. So we'll bring it up to al dente and then shock bath it. This next part is where it gets a little bit technical. So first off, we're going to do a roux. I did a 2-to-1 ratio on mine with the 4 tablespoons of flour, 2 tablespoons of butter. And we're going to bring those up a little bit slower. I think later on I'm going to do a video just dedicated to roux. But this one is just simple enough. As you'll see, you're going to melt the butter first. Then you're going to put the flour in. And you're going to let the flour cook just a little bit, and it's going to come together in a weird, almost like if you put water and sand and try to make like a little bit of a, like, you know, sand, I don't know, like pie or something like that. It's just that little nice, almost like liquidy dirt. I don't know, is the best way to explain it. And then you'll be sweating your onion and adding said roux to that, and then slowly adding your milk or cream. I went with the lactose milk because it helps me out digestively, even though I'm about to put about 3 pounds of cheese into the sauce. So slowly with the roux, you're going to add the milk in with a spatula, and make sure you're getting that bottom of that pan and continuing to scrape the bottom with the spatula so that it doesn't scald. And then that'll slowly kind of come up to a consistency, and you'll see me show you what's called nappe, where if you put a spoon into it and then wipe your finger across of it and it still stays where it was, like you'll see the spoon through it, like it sticks through. That's nappe. And then slowly fold in your cheese. And folding in anything pretty much just means in slow amounts you want to add one ingredient into the other, while usually with the spatula kind of making sure it all gets incorporated. And you'll see as it thickens through time, and thickens even more with the cheese that goes into it. And it took me 2 times. I got mad and deleted the first one, but if you can get down even just the first part, you've learned a bechamel. If you can get the roux into the cream to stick to make the nappe, you've made bechamel. And then with that, you've learned one of the mother sauces of 5 mother sauces, and you're getting started. So I paired it with a chicken that is both parsley, kind of herb, and black pepper. And let's give it a taste. No, that's Italiano. Thank you for joining me for this episode. If you can, I'm doing other videos during the other part of the week where I'm mostly doing home chefs. I'd love if you could join me. If not, I'll see you next week. You came, you sauteed, you conquered.